So shooters and reloaders out there, Fortune Cookie 45 LC coming to you from the hot lead zone. And what you're looking at is Harbor Freight Red. And we have here some of these nice Lee 160 grain bullets for the 30 caliber, specifically for the 7.62 by 39. And this is the tumble lube design for the 160 grain. It's kind of a Spitzer bullet for the 7.62-39, very popular bullet, but it's hard to powder coat. And we're going to do a test to see if we go ahead and coat with Harbor Freight Red on our parchment paper in the basket, and then see if that turns out pretty well. If it does, good, but the whole idea is to then do a second coat, a thin coat with Harbor Freight White, to see if the white will actually work well when it's used in a second coat. Because when you use it in a first coat, it won't work well. And when you use it a second coat on top of a first coat of white, it doesn't come out well either. But there's a good chance that maybe if you use a different color underneath, it'll work well. So we'll see. So let's go ahead and pour some of these in. You see there's not a whole lot of powder in there. We'll just put out a little test amount there, and then start up the vibratory tumbler with a little bit of powder in there. So this is 5 minutes of tumbling by the stopwatch, and you see that they're coated pretty well. Now, the powder won't stick to the metal all by itself. You have to generate some kind of a static charge for the powder to stick to the bullets. Now, whether that's done with a electrostatic technique or with a plastic contact with the bullets and rubbing to generate the static, the vibratory tumbler will generate that static because the bullets will actually circulate like this, and they're also spinning. So they will get the electric charges built in there and get that coating that we want. Let's go ahead and dump this into a basket and shake the excess powder off. Well, there's the basket. It's hard to see, but we go ahead and dump the bullets in there. Like that. Then we'll shake this, get the excess powder off. Like so. And this kind of wire basket is very abrasive. I can see now that it's already pulling the powder off, and it's not looking good. It's not going to come out as good as we are used to. But since we're doing a two-coat technique here, it'll be okay. Let's go ahead and put some of these into our baskets that are lined with the parchment paper. Now I've got two baskets, but let's keep it simple. We'll put it in one basket. Notice the clear areas caused by the scraping of the very abrasive type of wire configuration on these powder-coated bullets. This isn't going to come out very well, and we're used to Harbor Freight Red going to be doing better than this, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and run this because, again, we're doing the second coat. But the problem still is that there are some bare areas, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and separate these. So there they are, all separated. Let's go ahead and put them into the white. So for curiosity's sake, can we use our Harbor Freight White over the good Harbor Freight Red and get an acceptable covering of white? And the answer is no. The Harbor Freight White, when you put it on, this is the best that it'll do, and that's not acceptable right here. It's okay for use in highlights, but when you're trying to do a primary coat, the Harbor Freight White is a frustration. It's quite a bit of consternation. I'm not going to use Harbor Freight white for anything again, except for highlights. Perhaps if electrostatic were done, it'd be okay. However, if you put Harbor Freight red over Harbor Freight white, you'll get this. And that's not too bad. If I did another coat of Harbor Freight red, it would probably come out better, but no need. Now, however, what you see here is parchment paper that's been used 4 times, and that's probably the limit, because what happens is residual powders build up and come off as that kind of a flaky residue that winds up getting stuck on the bullets. You can peel them off, but it's not worth the trouble. So the parchment paper should be changed out every 4 uses. What you see here is a batch of powder-coated bullets, the Lee 430 200 grain round nose flat point, and they came out beautifully. As you can see, this powder coat is the mixture of all the good powders that were left over, and it makes a nice purple. Well, a big hello to Loads of Bacon, because both he and I like to put bullets on their bases because that's the best powder coat result, bar none. However, long skinny rifle bullets are hard to get on their bases without falling over like these. So when we're doing those, the 2-coat parchment paper in the basket technique can do very well for us, as you see here. If you're going to do anything short of electrostatic, the whites are a frustration and also quite a bit of a consternation. What you see here are bullets that we tried to use a Harbor Freight white and it came out horrible, and we had to coat over the top with Harbor Freight red to save these. And it came out okay, but it took a lot of work to overcome that white. Hello to Johnny's Reloading Bench, because he's doing a lot of work now with jacketed bullets like Sierras and all that kind of thing, and also powders such as Vita Vori, which we don't use too much of. At any rate, hello to Johnny's Reloading Bench. And today we learn what happens when you have excess powder you don't shake off. You get this globby effect. And if your parchment paper or your silicone mat has too much excess powder on it and you don't clean it off, you get these tags on your bullets like you have here. Well, a special hello to Thorzax777. He just got back from a nice trip on the Leavenworth Loop up there in Washington. But Dave's a real friend of all of ours, and he's always ready to share information, and we can learn a lot from him because he's got a lot of information to give. He doesn't do powder coating, but that's okay. He shoots a lot of cast bullets, and he's very knowledgeable, target shooter, and experienced in all kinds of rifle shooting and this kind of thing, precision shooting, target shooting. And that's all okay because there's nothing wrong with the traditionally lubed cast bullets. So hello to Dave. What you see here are all the leftover good powders that were mixed together, and if you go ahead and use that, you get a nice purple with highlights. And comes out real nice. Look at that nice detail. And of course, don't have excess powder when you put it into the basket for the oven curing. And a big hello to Elvis Ammo, because Elvis has been doing some real adventurous things with zinc bullets and also the making of his own black powder. So he's really doing some special things over there on that channel of his. And to all of you shooters and reloaders out there, a big hello to all of you as well. Take care, see you in the next video. Bye for now.